something a little bit different on the show. We're going to have what we call now real battles, right? Because we're real districts. So this is real battles. Double E, right? Okay. Today we have my boy Alex, Double T, like always. Matt, always on the show. And myself, Rip Fuel. Okay. So
let me go ahead.
Go ahead, Tony.
So we're doing real battles, which first I'd like to thank Andy, who created it back then, Movie Fights, the great Andy from Popcorn Planet, who unfortunately is... Yeah. And basically we're going to give a couple questions. They're going to give their answers and response, and everyone's going to have a time to explain how they liked it, didn't like it, and so forth. We're going to do 4 questions, then we'll have a speed round as well. Okay? Let's get started. First question. What is the worst sequel ever made? A blockbuster sequel that's ever been made. Alex, start first. Give your opening statement.
So as you guys know, I'm a Star Wars fan. That's, I'm heavily influenced on anything Star Wars. Unfortunately, the worst sequel ever is The Rise of Skywalker. That is a terrible end of a story that could have been epic. I think that, in my opinion, it looks like it was a last minute thing that they just needed to put something out there, and somehow Palpatine is back. Like, the hell?
Oh yeah, I saw that on YouTube.
And then everything that they on YouTube, and then everything that they have done after has been to kind of justify the cloning of the Emperor and how everything, how he came up to that. It's just a terrible story. It just extremely sad about how it came up.
Okay. Thank you, Alex, for that. Matt, what is your worst blockbuster sequel ever made?
Fucking necklace is pissing.
There's more reasonable problems.
I don't get it. I guess it's like a rapper or something.
The worst sequel ever made
Pissing me off.
is Batman and Robin, 1997. And
that's a good one. Yeah, that's good. Excellent choice.
My reasoning is it could have been the literal destruction of Batman going forward. It was the worst Batman. It was the most boring villains we've ever had in Mr. Freeze and Poison Ivy. Using Arnold Schwarzenegger and Uma Thurman, how do you mess that up? So Joel Schumacher, you're an idiot. Okay. The suit, terrible for Batman. George Clooney, I mean, he couldn't move his neck in the movie. If you look at that suit, if you look back at it, he couldn't move his neck. It literally flopped at the box office. How a Batman movie flops at the box office for me is shocking, and that movie flopped hard for it being a Batman and Robin movie. Yeah. You would love this one. This is just for you. They had Batgirl in it. By the way, that actress almost didn't have a career after playing Batgirl in that movie.
Alicia Silverstone.
Yeah. Just to make a toy. Just to make a toy to sell.
You gotta make money.
You gotta make money.
They
still didn't make money.
All right,
go ahead, D. All right, thank you, Matt. All right, go ahead, D.
So for my worst blockbuster sequel of all time, I went a little bit of a different route. Obviously, they both chose giant IPs. Mine is an IP I don't think is as big as Batman or Star Wars, Star Trek. But I went with 2002, starring Busta Bust, Halloween Resurrection. Have you heard of Busta Rhymes Flipmo Squad? So this movie is the biggest. It's first off, to me, it's insulting to the greatest. Okay, I would put Michael Myers as to the greatest horror character ever, but one of the greatest characters ever, period. Even a movie like the 1978 Halloween, its subsequent sequels were actually pretty good. So Halloween 2 and 3 and so forth, they were actually pretty good. Even Halloween 6 is pretty good. H2O is pretty good. So this movie is terrible from top to bottom. His suit looks like it was bought at Walmart. The mask looks like it was for sure made in China, 100%. What else?
Isn't everything?
The first thing I thought to myself is, why is Busta Rhymes in this movie? Right? I didn't understand why. Number 2, in the movie, in the beginning, they kill off Jamie Lee Curtis, which is stupid for any Halloween movie because she's the main actress, she's the main character, and she makes up the film.
I forgot.
Yeah, she falls off. He's chasing her, and she falls down
in the hospital.
And she dies.
And then she's back the next movie.
She's back because they offered.
She's like Palpatine.
Yeah,
Exactly.
Yeah, they wanted to make some money. So it's always about the money, right? So all in all, and one last thing before I finish. Somehow there's like 20 people in this 1800 square foot house, and they can't find each other. I don't know if they're in a fucking mansion. Hey, where did John go? And he's in the back. He's a fucking regular little house, and nobody can find each other. Oh, and also Michael Myers in this movie, he has the iconic, that slow walk, that brute force. In this movie, he's very like, closing the doors and, hey, he picks up, he's tying his shoes.
He's not subtle at all.
He's not subtle at all. No stiffness, no brutality. It's just very, and then his mask, his eye things are like this. You kind of see him almost that, So for me, that is one of the worst sequels because it could have ruined, like Batman and Robin, it could have ruined an iconic character for sure.
Okay, very, very good opening statement.
So I'm going to lose this battle, guys, just so you know.
No,
okay?
very good
So
opening
Tony's
statement.
going to go against me. So it's just typical, 25 years.
Very good opening statement. Now, go ahead, Alex. You're first. Go ahead and explain why yours is the worst sequel and why theirs is obviously not as bad as yours is.
Right. So to start, Batman and Robin. Okay, I agree with you and all those points that you made. They still have some badass suits. Just by looking at it, they don't have to move. Just looking at the suits, great. The cinematography was pretty decent. Like it was.
Did he say that cinematography was good in there?
Yes. It's really
Somebody call the movie police.
It's
How you doing, Sergeant Dan here?
It's Gotham
movie
City.
police. The cinematography was good in Batman and Robin.
No. Bane, by the way.
What did they use? The Kodak cameras. Okay, go ahead. My bad.
I think that and I'm comparing it to, is it worse than Rise of Skywalker? I don't think so.
You don't think so?
I don't think so.
I think so.
For a different reason. Your Michael Myers movie, I also agree with you. I did not remember that this lady died in that movie. I did not remember, just like Matt. But I still think that when you go to those movies, it's a scary movie. It's all about the horror, and you need to, even if the house is a 500 square foot efficiency, you need to make it look like you can't find it. It's part of that genre. So I think that makes it good. Or better than
what didn't you like about the Rise of Skywalker?
So
Palpatine comes back, which is the old guy, right?
Right. That's the Emperor.
The Emperor.
So
who's the boss though? Because I always in these movies I don't know who's the boss. So is it Darth? Is it the Palpatine? Is it the Sith guy?
So in a nutshell, the story of Star Wars is good against evil. It's a love story about good versus bad.
Right.
And in this movie, they try to pull up something that it didn't even make sense. You have Rey, that she's the most powerful Jedi at that point, or Jedi to be, because she's not an official Jedi. She has power with the Force. There's a speculation of what is she? Is she going to be a...
No, she's nobody, but she's Skywalker, but she's nobody.
Well, right. She ends up being a Skywalker by choice, because in today's day and age, you choose what you want to be.
I mean, for me, Rise of Skywalker, at the end of the day, even though, and I understand that just because you make money, we were just talking about this, T, just because you make money doesn't make it a good movie. But at the end of the day, it still did what it had to do and make a ton of money. And so at the end of it, even if it was one of the movies that's considered one of the worst sequels of all time, it still made money. It still did its job for Disney. It didn't stop Disney from still continuing to make Mandalorian, Andor, Boba Fett, all these other things. It didn't stop it. It didn't get in the way.
I think it did.
No, because they're actually going to bring back Rey 15 years later, and she's going to be leading the next Jedi, the next Jedi, right? So she's leading now. They're going to make another whole trilogy about her again. Which
but you know why mine is the
clean it
worst.
up.
You know why mine is the worst? Because they get an iconic. They get two of the only characters that people care about on Halloween are Jamie Lee Curtis, which is Laurie Strode, and Michael Myers, and one is made to look like a buffoon, and the other one is killed.
I agree.
Thrown off a building.
I hear you, but at the end of the day, horror movies can get easily
they can fall into
be so
yes.
good. It can be so terrible that it's good.
Yeah. That happens. I agree with
You know
that.
what I mean?
So yeah, like a movie like there's like The Exorcist 3 is pretty good. and so on, right? Okay. The Conjurings, the second and third one are pretty good. What I will say is this: at least yours had a budget of what, 250 million, easily. Yours had a budget back then of probably at least 50, 60, 70 million. Yours had established famous actors, right? I get one lady, her career's kind of dwindling, right? So then they kill her. Not only that, the movie cost $15 million to make, which is nothing.
But what makes a movie a
2000
movie? The story. And how, after 40 years, you're going to bring back an emperor that apparently he was the greatest evil, bad person in the galaxy. How are you going to bring him after 40 years and nobody have heard about him? No. And somehow, like the line that Oscar Isaac said.
But was it so bad that
he's
Rise
back?
Was Rise of Skywalker? Because I will agree that Batman and Robin is a worse sequel than what it's called. But Rise of Skywalker, I remember it wasn't that bad where people were like, "Oh, this is gonna ruin Star Wars." People were like, "Oh, this movie
the
sucked."
fan base. I think that it split up the fan base completely.
I remember being in the theater, and I think it was pretty bad. It was, and then all of a sudden, the last line in the movie, "I'm Rey Skywalker," and I was like, "Oh, fuck this."
Yeah.
Oh, so
I think that
made
was
a girl or whatever.
Rey.
Yeah, she was.
Which, by the way, she's
not a
the
Skywalker.
granddaughter of the emperor. That makes absolutely no sense.
They have grandkids? Okay, so Batman and Robin, right, to me is a worse sequel. Batman and Robin is known for being that. It's infamous.
Yeah.
But for me,
It's overproduced by a mile. If you go back,
yeah,
and watch,
but at least you have actors.
Did you see?
You have actors in their prime, famous. Arnold,
And they were shit.
But look how they dressed them up.
George Clooney, shit. He even said that he almost killed them.
That's what
he almost
Gotham
killed
is.
it.
It's like you're looking at a comic book. That's like when you think about
It looks worse than
There
a
you go.
Saturday morning Batman cartoon.
Bat-
They tried doing a Batman cartoon Saturday morning style, and it was worse than that.
Batman and Robin.
It had the right neon colors.
Okay, do you saw Dark Knight Rises with Bane?
Yeah,
Right. Did you see the Bane in that movie? Yeah. He is literally the chauffeur for Poison Ivy in that movie. He's walking her around Gotham City. Hey, let me show you around.
Because he made it in a very cartoony fashion.
Come on.
I still won't say, but I still think that all things considered, it's still a passable film. Halloween Resurrection, you can't even fucking watch it. Busta Rhymes gets in his costume. He's dressed as Michael Myers. What if I told you, say, I'm gonna pitch you a movie. I need $15 million. I'm gonna put Busta Rhymes from the Flip Mode Squad. You know what I'm talking about? That guy. And I'm gonna put him in the costume at the end, fighting kung fu style.
Who approved this?
Who approved this? They will be fired on
Real
the
quick, real quick. Final thoughts on Alex.
On why?
Just final thoughts. Just give you your final thoughts on why Star Wars. Yeah, you think is worse than.
It's just as a Star Wars fan, it ruined a lot of the storyline that has been building up for 46 years now, and I think that whatever's coming next, they're gonna do a lot to try to fix it. I hope.
Okay, Matt, real quick.
I mean, there's not much to say. I think it set back Batman a long time before it actually came back and being an iconic, franchise. It set back superhero movies in '97, and for me, it did. So for me, I think it's worse than the two that you said.
Okay. So I agree, it did set back comic book films, and I think either way, Rise of Skywalker didn't set back Star Wars films. They obviously kept making them. So for me, Halloween Resurrection is the complete antithesis of what the character is supposed to be. And by the end, like I've said already, the movie has a lot of plot holes, a lot of stupidity. 1,800 square foot home, nobody can find each other. There's 30 people in there, and they can't find each other. They set up all these cameras. They can't just run away. Busta Rhymes is in there. I don't know why Busta Bust is in the mode. So for me, it's the worst of all time. Dale.
All right, I think.
And who won?
I think I'm gonna be honest. This first point, I'm gonna lean toward Danny on this one.
Of course, I get the reverse psychology. I get the first one.
No, I think you made a good point on making fun of Batman movie is so bad that it's good. My wife actually likes that movie because it's so bad that it's good, and it had a kind of a thing. You did mention they had a big cast, but he brought up that movie still had Arnold in it.
Look how Matt's looking at
He got George Clooney. Your point was good about the Star Wars, and Matt also favored too much, like saying, agreeing that the Star Wars sucks. Don't agree with him. Like,
okay, look, this is, guys.
It sounds like it's good. Do a Mo did. You gotta be like Mo for that one.
He makes up rules when we're just playing.
No, you gotta go against it. And then what Alex didn't do good was he didn't knock very well on any of your movies. Yeah, he knocked on Star Wars and he made some good points about like Star Wars is having trouble now coming back. But then Matt hit him with but they're coming with a sequel to it, right?
This is what I'll say.
The Halloween did sit back. They killed the best character. It's just true what he said.
They didn't kill Palpatine. They didn't kill.
Yeah, of course.
Batman.
They did. Well, they didn't kill him. They brought him back.
They didn't kill the main
Halloween
characters.
Resurrection was such a bad movie, and then when they killed Jamie Lee Curtis, it was so bad they had to reboot it with another director. With his,
they killed Batgirl.
Rob Zombie.
Batgirl's dead from this film. The actress is dead, and then they canceled Batgirl's movie 20 years later.
I gotta give it to him because it was so bad that they restarted it with Rob Zombie, and then they restarted it again and brought back Jamie Lee Curtis to ignore everything that Busta Rhymes film did.
I gotta give him that one. I'm gonna say something and leave it and don't cut this. Going forward, obviously, as the channel grows, we hope to be able to do this live.
Yes,
so that we have live voting.
Yes.
And then there will be another.
It's gonna help.
I guess the judge will be another ancillary part, and then that together.
This is the first one. So that's why. That's why I said I want to do the first one.
This is the pilot. We're getting it out the way.
I'm supposed to have my brother as another judge, but he's not here.
Man, where's Jack though?
Papa Jack is yeah. All right.
So next question.
All right. Next question. So far, Danny's up 1, Matt 0, Alex 0. 4 questions. We have 3 left to go. Question number 2. What is the greatest villain ever put on screen? Matt, you go first.
All right. The greatest villain ever put on screen is Homelander. And for me, he carries the entire show. Homelander.
It's a good
Homelander.
Pick. It's a good pick. He's a good one. He's a top.
Your words exactly.
He's a top. He's a top all time.
Your words exactly on videos about the show The Boys was, without him, it's an average show.
Absolutely.
You said that.
I
and
agree.
he, in every episode, carries you hate him so much, but he's also the most powerful person, and he's also a psychopath. And it just shows what it actually would be like, probably. And I think it's actually, to your point, and for you to see this, it's a viewpoint on how other people view America. I think it's actually how people might view how we are, and he embodies that hate that everyone has. We're seeing it on TV every episode.
Yeah.
So that's
great villain. Yes, I agree.
Go ahead.
Al?
Go ahead, D.
No,
No, it goes in order. So
let him go.
No, but it goes in order. So.
Okay. How you guys doing?
I'm curious.
Okay. So, if you've been watching this channel, you might know who I'm picking. And it's the man, the myth, the legend, Joker, from 2019's Todd Phillips movie, Joker. Okay. What makes Joker the greatest villain ever put on screen? Maybe even in literature or comic books, all of it, you know? When I watch Batman, I think of, what do I think of? I think of stability. I think of justice. I think of peace. I think of strength, right? And I think inside of us, we all want that, right? Literally in our own lives, right? I would agree with that. When I watch the Joker, he's the opposite, right? So he's unstable. He's a psychopath. What else? He's lonely. He's a loser. He's a clown, figuratively and literally. So what I would say is that in this movie, what you are watching is a man have a complete mental and physical breakdown in front of your very eyes, performed masterfully by Joaquin Phoenix. Before I continue, the movie made over $1 billion with a $90 million budget, which is modest in today's time. Number 2, it won hundreds of awards. He swept the Screen Actors Guild, the Golden Globes, and the Oscars. What else? Check my notes here.
You want me to move on to...
The last part.
Check my notes. His notes are typed, by the way.
Last part. I think, besides all the villains we've seen on screen, the Joker is one that has transcended into real life because a lot of us have that Joker in us. that feeling of like, hey, we're right on the edge of breaking down. So to me, in real life, we have seen the Joker, unfortunately, referenced in a lot of horrible acts. You know, Pablo Picasso said that art reflects life. So to me, that's why he's the greatest villain. He transcends movies into real life, into all that.
Nice. Alex?
So as you might guess, to keep the theme, I think that the greatest villain put in any movie or any show, on camera, on film, whatever, is Darth Vader. I think that for the past 46 years, this guy is somebody who's powerful, is menacing. And if you really think about it, it's not somebody who's bad just to be bad or because he wants power. It's a story of somebody had a very tragic beginning that it just something happened, which is, I think it was at the moment of the death of his mother, that he just flipped. He became evil, and it's on film, whenever he comes out, the presence, the menacing presence, just the fact that he wears a cape and nobody else can freaking wear a cape like he does.
Yeah.
The suit, the dark stuff. It's just, to me, that's just the best villain that you can ever find.
Okay.
Good one. Alex, let me ask you. How many billion-dollar films and Oscars does the Darth Vader movie have?
So, to be successful in movies,
Guess that would be
you
zero.
don't have to be just money.
No,
You have
but-
to be able to tell a story. A Joker, both of your selections are, you both actually said the same word, psychopath. You guys are just because you have a mental issue doesn't make you the greatest villain.
because Darth Vader is normal? He's
Well-
literally attached together by a robot.
But you have to look at the story. Homelander, he's the evil Superman version of the Amazon
I
video.
mean, he's absolutely terrifying. You don't
because
if you watch the airplane scene of him at the beginning of season, I think it's the beginning of season 1. You they are like, holy shit!
Yeah.
What did he just do?
But I think though that scene and Homelander in general, it's more entertainment and it's more it's entertaining, 100%. None of you are gonna convince me that when you watch the Joker, you don't sit there and go, you don't sympathize with him, because think about it. When you watch that movie, right, and you see that he finds out that he's adopted and he's crying and all of us are like, damn, you're sympathizing with a homicidal maniac. But why? Because inside of us, we have a little bit of that. We all have our
but it's
issues and our
interesting,
flaws. Homelander is a fucking Superman. And then this guy, he's in a fucking suit and he's talking and he's like...
Your villains are mental disabled people. Just because you have a mental
But Darth
issue.
Vader is mentally deranged. He's an evil person.
But you have to look at the story.
They're all evil.
But is he
wasn't
though?
evil.
Because by the end, at the end, he's not.
Bro, that guy is
That's
fucking
exactly my
crazy.
point.
He literally, the scene that he meets Murray, Robert De Niro at the end before he shoots him.
Oh, no.
He is actually, if you look at how good Joaquin Phoenix's acting is, he's actually starstruck. He's like, oh
the
my
Joker
God,
has
Murray.
been played by how many
Right?
people have
And
played the
then
Joker?
He puts the gun
My-
like this.
my
and
best
he's gonna
argument
kill
for-
himself, and he goes out there and he's standing backstage and he's holding the cigarette with a look on his face, serious. And then before he goes on stage, he starts switching. He starts doing that shit that he does, right? Because he's coming out of the creature, whatever's coming out, to go make a joke. He actually makes some jokes. Do you see how many beats he's doing?
But my
You're
best
even
argument to you
talking
is,
about a
and then he shoots
character,
Murray.
but you're talking about a character from a movie that is not even canon.
Is that what?
It's not canon. That's not a real. The Joaquin Phoenix Joker is not even the real story of the Joker character.
Also, Darth Vader is popular because there's a bunch of other characters that are just as famous. Luke Skywalker, Chewbacca, Han Solo.
Okay.
We're talking about the
Wait,
greatest evil.
But hold on. But hold
they
on.
have- he has help.
Is
Let me hear Matt a little bit. He hasn't spoken this time.
is the regardless of what you think, what the world thinks and what the comic book world views on the Joker, he's not even the best Joker. That's what they're gonna say.
To me, it's
Okay, to you he is. He's not even the best Joker, probably to the popular audience. Is he the second best Joker? Or are they gonna bring up I'm blanking.
You're just lending to the character because now you're saying,
Okay.
look at this character that since 1940
but
has been played.
If you're telling me that I could have taken
Look
a
at
character
the
that's been played by
history.
7,000 people.
Look at it. When was Star Wars created? The 70s?
I mean, Mark Hamill.
It's been around
People are going to say
40s.
that Mark Hamill's voice is better than Joaquin Phoenix.
No, bro.
But I'm telling you that it's
But-
Mark Hamill's
Yeah,
Joker.
but that's a
He said he would refuse to come back
That's
to the
a
role.
non-correlated argument because Homelander doesn't have a 70, 80-year history. If
Right.
he did, there's going to be other Homelanders. There's going to be some guy play Homelander in 10 years when
Right,
they reboot the series.
but Anthony Starr himself, just like you're saying, Anthony Starr himself is a fantastic
I
actor
think
who's
he's great. I
who's
think
been
he's
incredible
Darth
in the role.
Vader, to me, is the most overrated fucking villain in the history of cinema.
Darth Vader sells toys,
He
so
sells toys. He's a guy that was big because the movie was big. But as a villain, he doesn't. And really, it's not him that made him famous. More James Earl Jones, who
It's
did
still the
I Am
character.
Your Father or whatever.
Oh, so then you're talking about Joaquin Phoenix. No, whatever. Look, put yourself in this situation. Let's say you don't know anything about any of these villains that we're talking about. You're in a room, chilling, doing nothing, and all of a sudden, just think about this. Darth Vader comes in, Homelander comes in, and the Joker comes in.
I think I'm dreaming.
The Joker comes in, and you're going to be like, who the f is this guy? What is this clown-looking guy? Get that hell. He's a psychopath. He's crazy. Get out of here. Homelander, like, bro, what is this clown trying to wear a cape, trying to be Superman?
You tell him that he's gonna fucking
You know,
kill you with his
whatever.
eyes in 3
Okay.
seconds.
But you don't know about this guy, right? So he comes in.
No, I do know about him.
Well, no,
You
I'm
can't
talking
listen. You can't say
You-
that Homelander is the greatest villain put on screen.
And then-
the guy has 3 seasons of a show,
And he's held it-
of
he's
a
held
s-
court
of
for all those hours.
Of a subpar show. That's not even a
Subpar.
top, it's not even a top 20 show of all time, right,
Bro,
Right?
if
It's not
Darth
even
Vader walks
the
in-
Joker, the history, the lure.
But that's the
fact
easy
that-
choice.
Can you-
That's the easy choice.
Let me ask you something right now.
That's the easy
Let me ask you
choice.
right now. If I gave you 100
Don't
million,
go with the history of the
Let-
Joker
let
because
me
you're
say-
picking Joaquin
let me-
Phoenix's Joker,
hold on.
not the history.
Okay, but hold on. If I gave you
You guys are arguing on not the best choices. If Darth Vader walks in right now and you don't really
I'm not gonna
anything
know who
about-
he is because he's a fucking-
exactly.
he's in a suit.
But when he comes in, you're gonna be like shit and bricks. Like, who the hell is this guy? You're gonna be terrified. If Homelander comes in, you're gonna be like, oh, he's whatever.
No, I'm
you
way
know,
more
okay.
afraid of fucking.
I'm afraid of
I'm way
Homelander.
more afraid of Homelander, and
Fuck
then I'm
yeah.
more afraid of Joaquin Phoenix's Joker than I'm afraid of Darth Vader.
listen. There's no timer.
Final. I heard enough.
We're gonna be here for another. half an
Final
hour.
thoughts. Final thoughts. Oh no, it's Matt first. Sorry. Final
Yeah.
thoughts.
I just think when I know we're comparing some TV show to part of a TV show and a few movies and then one movie in particular. Homelander has done it consistently over 3 seasons, which you can add up all the hours, whether it's 24 hours, 25 hours.
He is that show, yes.
And he is that show. He is the face of that show. Without him, it
No,
might be a
so-
subpar show.
so
Every
sucks.
other character has flaws, in my opinion, that in that show.
The
Joker, unequivocally. I know that most people, judging by the box office, go watch movies to be entertained. Either way, I don't care what movie you've watched. We've all been affected by a movie. It doesn't matter. And that character is not only is it very human component, emotional component to your own life. It's entertaining. He's vicious. He calls himself a werewolf in the fucking movie. He is a monster and phenomenal acting. Box office. He's the GOAT right now. Villain. Go ahead.
Alex, final.
Well, Darth Vader is the story of somebody who was not evil, not with a mental issue, not a psychopath, that basically turned evil because he wanted to save somebody he loved. And at the end of it, he went away from being evil, turned into the good, again, to save somebody that he loved.
That for me is what makes him not the greatest villain.
All right, guys. Thank you. So remember, if you want, leave a comment on who you think.
Yeah, guys,
won
comment
this
below.
Point.
Darth Vader.
I'm
You
gonna-
get 2 points for Darth Vader.
Babe, comment.
I'm gonna lean toward Matt this one, and I think because he made a good point of like he is the best part of the boys. He also said that Darth Vader turns good, so how could he be the best villain? And you
doesn't
you'll
make-
continue to agree with him because he made that at the end of the whole saga, the first saga, and you agreed with it. He also mentioned that he might not be the best Joker, which is a good point to make, and he argued against it. I did like your point about knocking on them both having the psychopaths, but man, you have Darth Vader. You know how much I would have ripped up? You didn't even mention the scene where he's the most iconic character in all of Star Wars.
Yeah,
too.
but the thing is, it's tough because you told me
It's
only
tough.
pick one movie.
I know, but you don't have to pick a movie. He's taking a character.
No, he picked the
I
character.
picked the character.
Right, but you only have so much you can go off that character, but that's your choice, right? Like, that's the villain you chose. It's what you had.
Let's be honest.
But be honest.
We don't have to put it on camera. Joker's the best villain ever.
Well, I don't think so. No.
Honestly, I would disagree.
If you asked me what's the best villain ever, Darth Vader.
Darth Vader?
To me.
Really?
Swear to God, that's my pick. Who do you pick as your greatest villain?
Really,
ever
Darth Vader?
I'm giving the point to Matt because he had the best arguments against that and that. I mean,
so you're winning.
Like I like your point about the awards and how much money the movie made because he is fucking phenomenal actor. He did a phenomenal job as a villain.
You think right now the way Star Wars is, a Darth Vader movie makes a billion?
Not right now. The whole story.
You also said one thing I didn't agree with. You said, it's not even a good Amazon show. It's Amazon's #1 watch show.
Doesn't matter. All time? You mean great shows?
That's the best show on Amazon Prime. It's the #1 watch show.
All shows ever.
Oh, but you said Amazon, so when you said that,
I didn't say Amazon. I said all time.
Like I said,
you must have
I like your
misheard.
points. He has a lot of beats. The Joker has a lot of takes, a lot of beats. He's all over the place. But I got to give it to Matt because he knocked good on you guys, and his point was good for. I mean, like I said, we'll leave the comments, see what other people think. I think Matt made a good point of Homelander is the show.
I think
there is no doubt about it.
I would say,
and I agree. If there is no Homelander, there ain't no show.
I would say Homelander.
You said that too.
I would say Homelander is one of the best villains.
He's a
from
good villain,
television.
but he's not the best.
You had
unstable.
You had so much to go off you didn't use, like how the sequel trilogy is still honoring Darth Vader by using Kylo Ren to honor his grandfather. How he has one of the greatest scenes in Rogue One where he picks him up, one of the most iconic scenes in the entire movie.
So my delivery was shit.
You weren't really honor Darth Vader is the greatest villain to me.
Yeah, but
He's won the Guinness World Record for being the greatest villain ever.
Yeah, but next time I'm gonna pick.
didn't know that.
I'm gonna use other movies too. But hey,
I'm just saying that there's so much to go off. I think it's like I said, the comments are there. I'm leaning toward Matt.
Look, Hannibal Lecter is even better than
Hannibal Lecter's a fucking fantastic
not
villain.
better. Hannibal Lecter is not better. He's the Silence of the Lambs is a great movie, but he's not a better villain than Homelander and the Joker. Maybe.
All right. I mean, I like his point too about even some people say the cartoon Joker, Mark Hamill, might be better. Like, it's just the fact that he's arguing against it, and you're like, oh yeah, they're good. You know who I would have picked? Because if I knew he was going Darth Vader, you know who I would have gone with best villain ever? Just in case if I had a second option, it would have been the Green Goblin from Spider-Man. He's used twice. He was used twice.
No,
the Green Goblin.
That movie is still quoted today.
Dog,
I can argue.
You're gonna tell me?
I can argue for.
You're
that
gonna
movie.
tell me
No,
there's more people
the Joker's
that like the
definitely better.
Green Goblin.
I can argue
You're
that movie.
projecting.
Look, every Joker
He's so good that
I mean,
he's
the greatest.
villains.
I mean, the
Those are
greatest comic
your-
book film of all time is arguably has Joker.
This Joker is the fucking greatest comic book villain ever.
But you didn't use Heath Ledger though.
That's the.
What's
And
your
I think,
favorite comic book movie?
Avengers, and then Spider-Man
Like
2.
more than Dark Knight?
As a comic book movie, Avengers. As a movie, Dark Knight. If that makes any sense to you.
You? What do you
Avengers is literally like reading the comic book. Man.
Yeah.
Come on.
like? Yeah.
It is.
But you like the Dark Knight though.
Dark Knight is
One of my favorite movies of all time. 100%. But is it a better comic book movie? You asked me comic book movie.
Yeah, but look what you just said.
But when you
Because
say
the Dark Knight is like a crime.
The harder list to get into is your favorite movies of all time because it's a bigger selection.
I'm just telling you.
I'm just keeping it, you know.
Someone could have used Thanos here. You could have used Thanos. I'm surprised someone used Thanos. Too.
If you would have said Green Goblin, I would have fucking.
Question number 3. What is the greatest featured film starring Tom Cruise?
Because we have Mission Impossible.
Because we had Mission Impossible coming out, right? And the reason why I mentioned the worst sequel was because of I mentioned worst sequel because so many Transformer movies are coming out, and
Yeah.
now too. But go ahead, Tom Cruise, because now with Mission Impossible coming out, new trailer looks badass, flies off the cliff, you know how it is.
we don't know where he's going with this one.
So my favorite Tom Cruise movie ever.
It's the best movie starring
For him.
featuring Tom Cruise. Whatever
Again,
is-
his
whatever.
opinion.
Your opinion, yeah.
His best movie ever is Vanilla Sky. No, I'm kidding. So
I'm about to say what the fuck?
the best movie ever is his most recent movie, which is.
and that's why he's wearing that T-shirt.
I'm not Top Gun right now. I'm fucking Nerf gun. All right, his best movie undoubtedly is Top Gun Maverick from 2022. Why? Again, $1 billion club. Not really. I don't consider Top Gun an IP. It was a movie that was popular in the 80s. Fun fact, came out the year I was born. 1.4 billion at the box office. It was heard Tom Cruise and Steven Spielberg were at a party, and Steven Spielberg whispered in his ear, "You saved the movies," and it's very true. Why? Number one, this movie, it does have a diversified cast, but it's not as in your face as like the MCU and Disney and all of that drama. It's just a great movie from beginning to end. It's an all-time movie. Not only that, he had to get clearance from the Department of Defense, from the Pentagon, and from the United States Navy to fly these F-18 Super Hornets, and they were going sometimes speeds of Mach 1, Mach 1.2, and that's actually Tom Cruise in the cockpit.
As long as nobody died.
As long
That
as
was
nobody
their agreement.
No, well,
They couldn't have anybody die on screen.
no, not only that, but they can't also feature any other foreign country because it's whatever, they're connected, right? So, with that said, Tom Cruise. First off, let's just go from the technical aspects of this movie, the shots of the dogfighting, the fact that the actors are actually in the cockpit, the fact that Miles Teller, Goose's son, his name is Rooster in the movie, his call name, right, was going so fast in the jets that he got sick when they were filming the movie. He had to go to the hospital, right? When he went to the hospital, the doctor said, listen, you've been in the jet so much that you actually have jet fuel in your blood. When Miles Teller went back to tell Tom Cruise that, Tom Cruise goes, son, I have that in my blood all the time.
Let's move on to the next one.
So
They made the opening statement for you.
besides that,
so what I'm
the
getting
movie
is
is fucking badass, and it saved movies and having a fucking diversified bullshit, and it's just a great 90s style action movie.
So what you're saying is that if it's a health hazard,
It's
that's
fucking
what
hot in
makes
this goddamn
makes
house.
it a good movie.
It is. I'll put the.
No, it's fine. Go.
He just got.
I had that 74.
He just got ramped up there.
Oh, the jet fuel.
Jet fuel.
Jeff, that's how good the movie is. They have fucking jet fuel in their goddamn blood.
He had it too. Watch
Alex.
Here we go. Here
right.
we go. What's this guy gonna pick?
I didn't go with the most popular because what makes a good movie is the story, the acting. So for me, the best Tom Cruise movie is The Last Samurai.
Good choice, yeah. Great movie.
Did it make over $1 billion?
No.
It made nearly $500 million.
It did.
But it's an amazing story
It is.
from an ancient or old Japan, how they're going to bring a modern type of war, and Tom Cruise, learns the culture. I think he even learned how to speak Japanese in this movie. The movie is the reason why I like sushi. Oh. So that's automatically is
random, but okay.
But
I like pizza.
The story of the to bring the culture. It's actually the one of the few one of the movies that brought the Asian culture into Hollywood, where it is today.
I agree.
Without that movie, I don't think that the Asian culture, and we're talking about inclusivity and all that stuff. I don't think that it had a huge impact on that aspect. The entire cast, or obviously not except Tom Cruise, but most of the Japanese actors did a phenomenal job. His acting was incredible. The passion, that one for sure. The cinematography on that one, beautiful.
It was good. Yep.
So I just think it's his best role.
Great director too, Edward Zwick.
Yes.
Did Blood Diamond and Glory.
He was involved in Traffic as well.
In Traffic.
All right. Thank you, Alex. Matt.
Okay, the greatest Tom Cruise movie, and I don't think your movie is made if this movie doesn't come out, is Mission Impossible Fallout.
That's the one from Dubai, right?
That's the one with Henry Cavill.
No, that's the latest one, Henry Cavill.
It's the one with Henry Cavill.
That's a good one.
That's the one with Henry Cavill.
Excellent movie.
In my opinion, Mission Impossible was floundering up until Ghost Protocol is there a second, and then the Fallout came out, and in my opinion, he came back into the mainstream of movies. He was not doing everything so top tier until Ghost Protocol came out. Fallout. That movie has the stunts. There's a stunt in every freaking sequence and every scene. It's him in it doing it. The practical effects are ridiculous. The score is amazing, top tier. It's a top 5 action movie of all time, easy. And in my opinion, your movie doesn't get made if this doesn't come out and it's a success as it is. In my opinion, Mission Impossible was mid-tier in the action department up until Ghost Protocol, and then Fallout just kicked ass. So that's my opening statement, simple.
Okay. Go ahead, Danny. Start it up. Go ahead.
Well, what can I say? These two films are unbelievable that they named. I would say I take probably Last Samurai. It means a little bit more to me than Mission Impossible Fallout, but they're both great films. So it's going to be difficult for me to, find flaws in them. So Last Samurai, I find it interesting that movie is the reason you like sushi.
That was a.
What are you saying?
I know, right?
The reason I like cannolis is because leave the gun, take the cannoli. So I was like, boy, let me try cannolis now. Right. But The Last Samurai.
Wait, hold on before you start. The truth, this is something, when I was a kid and I saw the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, I went into like a pizza thing. I was like, oh my God, I like pizza and it's my favorite food. And to this day, it's one of my top favorite foods. So there you go. Sorry, continue.
I agree. I
have to share that.
Okay, so Last Samurai, it is a little bit hard to sell Tom Cruise as a guy that goes to Japan and during their industrial revolution, he becomes, as part of the Last Samurai group. In real life, it's probably would have sliced his head off or whatever. But the movie, I think could have had a little bit more action. It was there for sure, but I think it could have had more action. I also think that what's it called? Man, movie's just so good. That's a problem, It's hard. It's hard though because all of our movies.
I can knock on all these movies.
All these movies hard.
Trust me, I can knock on all of them real fast.
They're all good. So, Matt, with Mission Impossible Fallout, great action. That movie, the Mission Impossible, my problem is that emotionally, I'm not really invested like that. It's more of just straight entertainment, but it's good entertainment. It's not like Fast X that you're watching and like, why the fuck am I here, right? With Mission Impossible Fallout, you're like, man, this is really good.
The quality of the acting is not the same in both of these movies. Like in
but that's
Top
the thing,
Gun, Maverick,
Tom Cruise is not a good actor. He's a good action star. He's a movie star. He's not Daniel Day-Lewis, Denzel Washington, or Tom Hanks. Or Joaquin Phoenix.
But his acting in Last Samurai is amazing.
His acting is good. It's not great.
Could have been better. Top Gun is just
it's not acting. He's actually doing. He's an actual pilot, right?
Yeah, which is not acting. Just because
it's not acting because he's doing it for real.
Right, exactly.
He's in a jet.
Yeah, there's no stunt.
Going 7 Gs down land, flying and turning
I think for Top Gun, there's a lot of people. I think again, you can ask a lot of people what their favorite Top Gun is. The people from the boomers from the older generation would probably say that their favorite Top Gun is still from the 80s.
I don't know about that, but okay.
But a lot of people, I've talked to a lot of people.
The movie's predictable. It's basically the same thing.
And it's a rinse and repeat, in my opinion, of the first one. In my opinion, it's a rinse and repeat.
Right.
And for me, it's hitting all the nostalgia points, which,
that's another good
fantastic.
Point. Yep.
But it's nostalgia points there. In my opinion, you're telling me that it did so much for the Asian culture. We're talking about, Bruce Lee, Mulan, Rush Hour. Jackie Chan. There's a lot of people that did a lot of things for the Asian culture, in my opinion, and the Asian transcended Asian acting or whatever into the. I don't know how much The Last Samurai, along with those other people, it had an effect for sure. I just don't think. It's not the sole reason.
It's not the sole reason, but he brought a huge part of the Japanese culture.
Yeah. But sushi was already in America.
Yeah. The practical effects in Fallout came second. The one that has the most practical effects ever is Mad Max Fury Road, which
but without part one, you don't get.
And this comes in second with the most practical effects that it has. So much less CGI than the previous one.
It's an entertaining movie, but I don't think it's one of the best. There's so many more movies that
they brought in Henry Cavill, and Henry Cavill in that movie I've seen in the fucking bathroom is fucking crazy.
What Top Gun did was in a
brought
world,
a lot of money. That's all he did. Brought a lot of money.
In a world of the political and you gotta have an agenda in the movie and this and that. It took that away and it made
because they have to. They're not permitted to put another country.
It made this movie great all time, and it brought us back to those days of those movies that made those movies great. that there was no political agenda. So it's bigger. It's for the whole industry.
Well, they took the fucking script from 19.
Last Samurai.
Write it down.
Just put Top Gun Maverick.
Write it down.
In
You
Last
know it's right.
Samurai,
Write it down. You know what's right. You know, come on.
In Last Samurai, they deal directly with the issues that happen in the Japanese culture. There was no
What the
political.
hell are you
correct-
talking about? The Japanese culture? What are you
Yes.
fucking Japanese? You're not Japanese. What do you keep talking about Japanese?
I don't have to be Japanese to talk about
You're
the
always talking about the
Japanese
Japanese.
culture.
I'm talking about the movies theaters. I'm talking about the movies. But what's more
Nicole
important?
Kidman
talking
saved the
about-
movie theaters. You don't see her entrance in AMC when she comes in.
What are you
This is
gonna,
why we're here.
What are you gonna tell me next? Did you like
She's the
wonton
reason.
soup because of fucking Last Samurai?
That's Chinese.
Egg drop.
Egg rolls. I like egg rolls. 'Cause I saw a movie.
All right, that's it. I don't even need to ask for final thought. I think we have more than enough here. I think we have more than enough here. I have only one more question. I'm like I said, comment down who you think won this argument.
Who do you think it won?
I'm leaning with Danny. I'm leaning with Danny on this one. Alex, you got one more chance. Next question, please, for God's sakes. Look, bro, Danny made some incredible points. Like, it saved movie theaters, even if it's true or
I'm
not.
a terrible
it's such
debater,
a good fucking
by the way.
point that he made because it kind of like the first movie to cross over $1 billion after the whole thing in 2020.
But just because a
like,
movie
blew
makes so
up.
much money doesn't make it.
It was
the question is
something.
not which is the most popular.
The movie is made like the way they made those movies good.
Like,
there was
and him bringing up
clear agenda.
him bringing up
Putting
like
all those
My movie
movies-
was before that.
But like his movie, like he says, okay, does practical effects, but then Danny goes ahead and shows him that, yeah, your movie does some effects and this, but I had the real military doing real jets, real this. So I
On a compromise,
so he's pretty much saying
that they can't do
But
certain things to
Tom
make it
Cruise,
look bad,
he
so they
is-
can get
he's actually-
fucking people signing up for the fucking army.
Tom Cruise wasn't even
and
the
the
main
fucking military.
character.
Is
Like
it
I
a
said-
piece of marketing? Yeah, it is.
100%.
He's a feature.
He's a feature character, but he's not the main character.
Like-
in Top Gun Maverick.
Basically, he's
Maverick. That's his call sign.
Just because no, I think
guy.
I think the story is
Listen,
more on
listen,
Rooster
Tony,
than him.
Tony, add this. He's 58 years old when he made that
Yes.
movie. I'm
Yeah.
37. I can't even get out of bed. Okay? And he's in a F-18 Super Hornet going 1,000 miles an hour.
Bro, that guy doesn't age.
last question. Last question. Right now it's 2-1-0. If you guys tie up with one, you have a little quick speed round to see who goes to the next round. Obviously, Danny's probably automatically in the next round. All right. Everybody getting ready. Everybody getting ready.
know what the fucking next
All right, next question is
Star Wars. Let's fuck Danny over
this
at
is
the end.
this is based on my knowledge of knowing my friends for a while now, and I know what they've watched and what they've seen. I want you guys to defend these shows as if it was the greatest show ever, and obviously you knock on the other ones. But I'm gonna assign you a show, and you have to defend it as if it was the
Assign me a
greatest
show.
show ever.
Okay.
You have to defend it as if it was the greatest show ever.
Here we go. Sign me a
You ready?
shot. He's gonna give me.
Alex.
He's gonna give me
hold
Ted
on.
Lasso.
Hold on.
I have to
Alex,
defend
hold
it.
on,
Watch it.
hold on. And you got a couple seconds to think about it. Alex, you got Book of Boba Fett. Matt, you got Marvel's She-Hulk.
Bro, this guy hates me.
Danny, you got Lord of the Rings, Rings of Power.
I have to defend it.
Come on, man.
You know what? Fuck this. I hate that show so much that I'll gladly take the loss.
You have to defend it.
So, okay, I would agree that it's the best show out of the three, but I still have to defend it. And I think that it brings back what you were never able to see from Boba Fett.
But who's Bubba Fett? Boo 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 boo. That guy.
Let me do a statement.
Is the gold, the robot.
That's Bubba Fett.
Yeah.
Nah, who cares?
So, I mean, it brings the story of what Boba Fett wanted really to do, which is to get to that power, to be able to control, whatever city. I can't remember now the name of the town. And he features. I think he plays this show plays a big role in the whole Mando. The Mandalorian, the Ahsoka. Learn his story and be able to
Now you got the word.
take over Jabba's palace. I think it's what makes it the best show.
Good pitch. Disney would have greenlit it. 200 million. Let's go.
All right.
Sign. What is it? Subscribe. What is it? I'm not. a
Like,
YouTuber.
subscribe,
Like,
hit the notification bell button.
All right, Matt, go ahead.
Since if no one has seen this show, but we have seen trailers for the show already, clearly, if I'm trying to pitch it, it has the greatest Netflix Marvel character in it, in Daredevil. Him being in the show
Nice.
saves this show and is the best character to have alongside She-Hulk.
Nice.
It also brings out, it shows the best of our women writers at Disney. And gives
Yes.
a different perspective on
Oh,
hey,
a different perspective, huh?
a different perspective on them in the workplace. It has the Hulk in it. And you do see a little bit of the Hulk being the Hulk, which we haven't seen the Hulk being the Hulk for a little bit now. He got his ass kicked by Thanos, and we haven't seen him since.
It also has the son.
So,
The son.
Hulk's son.
Oh, he's in the show.
Yeah,
I didn't get to that point. I couldn't.
and
I'd rather hit my balls with
and-
a hammer.
and I can talk about the finale, I guess. The finale is actually probably the best episode out of the bunch.
Because
The
it ended.
finale actually is not
'Cause it
bad.
finished.
It's actually pretty good.
It was over.
Finish. It's over. Thank
Well,
God.
reviewing wise, it probably is the best one out of all of them. Actually, people were saying that. So
Okay.
you kill me with this one. I'll tell you that.
Thank
Yeah,
you,
that's
Matt.
hard. I couldn't have done that. That was better than what I would have done.
Yeah. You actually.
Nothing I like about that show. Nothing.
All right, there you go.
Lord of the Rings, the Rings of Shit. What can I tell you? This show, guys, you gotta watch it. It's really good. Oh my God! It's just like Lord of the Rings. It's adventuring. There's like this really hot blonde lady that she's in a bunch of armor. She's in like
Talking about Galadriel?
she's in 100-pound armor, but yes, she can do flips in the air.
Is Wonder Woman?
I don't know. She has all
Does she
this-
have pointy ears?
She has pointy ears. There's some dirty people there in a village with big feet.
This is an Amazon show, by the way. Going back to the boys.
This is an Amazon show. They spent $1 billion. $1
billion!
$1 billion for the
That's more
rights.
than
For the rights.
The Boys, right?
for the. It's just a great tale, you know, and you get to,
great ode to the movie.
yeah, man, you get to go see them, right off into the sunset, and then it's just like, damn, man, it's just so good. The women are incredible. The diversity was outstanding. Thank you for giving me more LGBTQ rights. Thank you. This is what I look for in my Lord of the Rings shows. It's not the masterpieces. What? I'm defending it.
Doing a great job. I'm sure.
Guys, at the end of the day, you're going to feel proud.
Well, the amount of effort. The amount
John
of effort
Campy is
that you're
gonna love
putting
this.
into this.
You're gonna
John
want-
Campy is going to love
You're going to
this.
want to cancel your fucking Amazon Prime membership.
Go ahead, Alex. Start off with the.
So
show is better than theirs.
So we have another round up to this?
no. So that's it.
Speed rounds, okay.
So you're talking about a character that breaks the fourth wall, that it's just completely like, it's just bad. Bad
She-Hulk?
acting. Yeah, She-Hulk. Bad. Yeah, if you I have to specify, because the other one's also terrible. But bad acting, bad story. It doesn't tie anything to anything. Yeah, they brought that. Daredevil was the best thing that they did, but then they just brought a horny Daredevil. Like, what the hell? And she.
I mean, he's
whatever.
fucking blind. I mean,
Yeah, I know. He doesn't know.
Yeah, and
Maybe
then
she
when you're
can't
like-
see this is a fucking.
that she's like an ape, right? With your show, the one you were assigned, that show was so great that I started watching it, and I think 15 to 20 minutes in, I was like, I'm turning this shit off, and I'm unliking it, and I wanted to make sure, how can I get this not recommended ever again? That show was terrible.
Did it make you want to eat like hot soup, like they did? like back in the days, with the bread or whatever?
Like stew and something like that. Yeah. It made me actually, for those 15 minutes I was watching it, I wanted to just go hunting. For whatever reason.
Can you imagine being somebody from Japan and hearing that he likes sushi because the last time they're probably looking at him like,
Bro, this guy talks about the
that's like if somebody
culture.
goes, I watched Scarface, and let me tell you, I love
like-
Cuban food. What?
I thought you said cocaine. I thought you said
Then
cocaine.
they find out that all the Cubans in that movie were Jewish people.
And this guy, Al Pacino's Italian.
I thought you were gonna say like I watch Scarface and that's why I love cocaine.
Or some shit like that, yeah. But, yeah, man, bro, She-Hulk, what a great show,
She-Hulk
man.
was-
Go ahead, go
that was-
She-Hulk. yeah.
I mean, first of all, Boba Fett is the worst Star Wars show to come out and the worst Star Wars product to come out.
I didn't watch it.
And since Rise of Skywalker, it's the worst thing. It's not even his show. The show sucks, and the one that carries the show is Mandalorian when he comes in, because he comes in, and then of course gotta sell Grogu, so Grogu's in it too. And we're gonna reunite them in the show for no reason because they knew that the story sucked. So they're like, we have to do something. Mando and Grogu reunite.
But it's
Also, it's the first collaboration with Power Rangers in Star Wars. Did you see that part? There was Power Rangers in the movie. I mean, the show. Did you see them riding through the cities 10 miles an
Bro,
hour?
that shows the
but-
technology
Hey,
from
but
a galaxy far, far
Grogu
away.
is-
By the way,
Don't bring-
they did the best ode that they could to Halo. Another great show. Check it out. They did the best ode to Halo they could. This man was without his helmet for the majority of the show. What is he doing without his helmet? This is ridiculous. And I understand that he may not be part of the Mandalorian, he's not in the way anymore, but he's without his helmet just to sell himself as an actor, in my opinion. He's not there to play the part anymore. He's there to sell himself.
That wasn't his choice.
Pedro Pascal is in that helmet for the 99% of the show, 99.9% of the show. Lord of the Rings, I'm going to do what you do in the movie. I was like this. I watched that show. I was like, I came to every 30 minutes. That's exactly what you do in the movie theaters.
I agree.
With Jurassic Park, you did that. I know you did.
Jurassic Park, forget it.
I could not watch that show.
I'd rather throw myself off a building than watch a Jurassic World. You people, money hungry that ruin a classic like Jurassic Park. Go watch the original Jurassic Park.
Get back on track.
Lord of the Rings, it is such...
It's not Lord of the Rings. It's Lord of
the fact that it is such a disrespect and a shit to the original movies.
And to the original source material.
The
source
animation.
Material. Right.
The graphic effects
Because
on She-Hulk
Tolkien
are
is turning
so
in his
bad.
grave
But
watching this.
Who sits there? No, I'm serious though. Who sits there with these shows and goes, guys, we paid $1 billion motherfucking dollars. All right? Then you watch the movies, the Peter Jackson movies with Ian McKellen and Christopher Lee and Viggo Mortensen. You know, staples.
Every
actors.
episode is an hour and 10,
And
54 minutes, 50. I rather watch Miss
She-Hulk?
Marvel on Disney Plus.
Wait.
than
I
Lord
want
of
to
the
talk
Rings.
about
Hold on.
She-Hulk.
She-Hulk.
She-Hulk. And She-Hulk.
She-Hulk.
By the way, she's the best actress. Wait, you're talking about the acting. That woman,
Where's Lady Liv?
she's better.
She's better than what?
Then let them go because you already.
She's better.
But where does she live? All these men out there. Hey, how are you, honey? How the fuck are they? What is that? Who the fuck does that? Most men do not do that.
Especially when you're 8 feet and green.
Not only that, and then they got Megan Thee Stallion doing twerking. I don't give a fuck about Megan Thee Stallion.
Let me let them go. Obviously, this one you're like against your own show.
I forgot about the women. I can't defend this.
Let them go at it real quick.
I thought he was going to give us a good show, and then I was like,
I want to give you a bad show.
I'm going to lose this one.
Okay, so
Final
real quick.
thoughts. Go ahead.
All right, so Boba Fett is an iconic character. It's somebody that it didn't have a long story in the original movies, and they brought him back. It brought that nostalgia. It brings back that, where you're able to see from an iconic character, what was he able to do and what is he gonna do going forward. She-Hulk, the graphics are terrible. If you could look at even, if it's such a great show, at least spend a little money to make She-Hulk look half as decent as the Hulk in the movies. This was just a bad.
So, in my opinion, Boba Fett, the show itself, he is no longer the most iconic bounty hunter anymore. They have ruined him being as a bounty hunter because, first of all, they came out with Mandalorian, and then that show came out. So Boba Fett was the bounty hunter to get the toys, get the T-shirts, get the fucking mask, Halloween. I'm gonna dress as him. Now it's Mandalorian.
Yeah,
now it's Mandalorian, and the show did a disservice. His name is on the show, and he is not even the third. He's not even the second best character. The first one is Mando. The second one is
but without Boba
Grogu,
Fett, you don't have
and
Mandalorian.
the third one is Chewbacca's long lost part of the species is Chris. I don't even know how to say his name. He's the third best character in the show. So in my opinion, there's no way that it's, at least She-Hulk, she owns the fact that it's her show. It is definitely her show. We can say that for sure.
Fuck yeah, it's all hers.
Yeah, all hers, baby.
Motherfucker.
So, and Megan, we're talking about having people in there that are prominent. Whatever. Megan Thee Stallion's a prominent person in today's world, so I'll have her in it.
Yeah,
She's in it?
Right.
Well, I want to get my final
she's in
thoughts.
No, you don't need to. You're right. I don't need to final fucking.
Hold on, Megan.
All right.
Who's Megan Thee Stallion in that show?
Megan Thee Stallion comes out as a feature there in one of the episodes where she twerks and listen. Damn. Alex, do you think you beat him that one?
No. He's a much better debater than me.
He did better that one. I gotta give it to Matt that one because his intro alone was just, about this and woman empowerment and how the show features her only, and then he knocked on yours saying, at least mine's the main star, yours really isn't, and he kind of made a point how Mando comes in, steals the show. It's just like,
But you can't have Mando with Boba Fett.
I mean, I gave you guys horror shows. I thought it would be funny. So, but I mean, Danny was just he couldn't defend it anymore. He couldn't defend it. He was just like, I hate that shit.
2 wins. He's like, fuck it. I'm just gonna sit with my 2 wins.
All right, let me do a real quick speed round for them too. Alex, help me out with answering who you think wins. a speed round real quick. It's 20
Between-
seconds.
You guys are tied, so
So see who gets the winner. It's 20 seconds each. How many questions? No, it's one question. All right, I have already a question planned. I'll let you choose which actor you want to pick. All right, since you are the host of the show. Two very famous actors. Which one has had a better movie career? Sylvester Stallone or Arnold Schwarzenegger? Well, guys that everybody knows.
okay, who's going first?
I know, but everybody knows.
Who do you want to pick? Sylvester Stallone or Arnold? You got to defend them and go.
Better
against them.
career? All right, Arnold.
Better movie career.
Movie career?
Movie, not governor and all that shit. Movie career.
I think Stallone's had a better career.
Well, okay, well, you have 20 seconds then. You're going with Arnold, obviously. Start thinking a little bit. When you're ready, Danny, you go first.
I've been going first every time.
Okay, when you're ready, Matt, you go first.
Now I'll
20
go
seconds.
first because it's on the spot. All right. So Stallone, I mean, come on.
All right, I'm going to start once you start talking. 20 seconds.
20 seconds?
And then he gets 20 seconds, then you get 10 and 10.
Okay, go.
When you're on your mark, when you're ready.
All right. So Stallone, I mean, come on. Rocky 1, starting with that, 1975 Oscar winner. All of the blockbusters, Rocky, the entire series. He has 3 franchises. Rocky, Rambo, Expendables. Not only that, what about the 90s classics? Cliffhanger, Daybreak, Daylight, excuse me. Judge Dredd.
All right. When you're ready on your mark.
I'm not invested in him at all. At all. In either of these guys.
How about this?
I watched more of the Rocky I'm invested in.
How can you-
Is there an actor that maybe...
How can you
is there
leave
an actor
Kindergarten
maybe
Cop
lower?
out?
There's so many movies
I'm
he
not
has.
invested in him at all as an actor.
Remember, I'm older than him. I'm 10 years older than him, right? Roughly, how old are you?
Yeah.
Put it this way.
29.
Yeah, but Arnold is
I'm
like,
7 years older than him.
Arnold is
I
what?
mean, both these guys.
We grew up with those
guys are
We grew up a little bit more than
iconic,
them.
Old school.
Iconic old school, but I
mean, look,
I
Arnold
like
still has a,
Commando,
Arnold still has a show.
Commando.
The reason why I brought him up is because Arnold has a show now,
Better-
Uber, and then he
Predator.
has a new.
The
Expendables
better movie
trailer.
career has to be Stallone, because
is
Stallone
easy.
is still going. He's
I
still
can-
going.
I
He's
can-
in Guardians.
He's in Guardians. He has
I can-
Expendables now coming out again, part 4.
And who's in
You wanna bet I
Expendables?
can argue?
Arnold.
Arnold?
You want to bet I can argue with you
Arnold
on Arnold?
hasn't had anything meaningful in how long, Tony?
I have a problem with
When was
this.
the last
You
meaningful
want me to take
bro?
your spot? I think Arnold has the best movie career, simple because he has some of the most iconic movies like Terminator 2, and he also has some of the best family movies like a Christmas movie like Jingle All the Way, whereas Sylvester Stallone doesn't have those kind of movies. On the other sense, Arnold also was the most paid actor ever in the 90s. He was at 20 million. Sylvester Stallone never hit that top, and that's why I will pick him over. 10 seconds, go. Come on.
Okay, here we go. So that's
10 seconds only.
I just. Well, also you're gonna put my part that I did with him into with after.
You're going against me now, right?
and then
I'm-
you'll
I'm
put
playing
yours.
as Matt.
Okay,
When you're ready.
go.
You're 10 seconds. You go.
Stallone doesn't make 20 million. He's got 3 different franchises. He's executive producer. He makes hundreds of millions of dollars off those movies. He makes more than Arnold. There you go. End it.
You did it with it.
Game. Makes more money than Arnold. 100%. He's got 3 franchises and executive producer.
Arnold Schwarzenegger has worked with the greatest directors ever, like James Cameron, who's made Avatar, True Lies. He's also worked with some of the biggest stars ever. He's done everything from villains to heroes to being a influence for kids.
Stallone has done the same. He's worked with Robert De
Who do you guys
Niro.
pick?
He's worked with, come on.
Who do you pick? Well, audience, who do you think won the debate versus
well,
Arnold
audience.
versus Stallone?
In my opinion,
Let's do 2 more. Let's do 2.
In my
I got time.
opinion-
I got
That's
time.
enough.
Yes, you picked the 2 that you know.
I know everybody.
Woo!
Danny. I can pick any movie, any actors you want.
Okay, let's roll.
But no, that's
Wait,
it.
hold
We'll
on,
do this
hold
for
on.
next time. Next
Okay,
episode.
next time I pick the fucking.
Stay tuned.
I
Stay
pick-
tuned.
I'm the fucking judge next time.
That's why I said I don't want to be there because I'm gonna fucking dominate.
On the speed run, you did.
That's his vote. Okay, whatever the audience said, what do you think, man? Who do you think won the speed round?
I
Because
thought Danny did.
Thank you so much. Obviously, man, I'll try to do speed round questions better. I just thought that one on the fly. You know, I thought that on the fly. I just got 2 actors that I know that they're still talking. Like he's all over the Netflix thing, like he said, and this guy just dropped Expendables trailer. I thought, well, these 2 guys are like one of the biggest legendary action stars of the 80s and 90s and today. So you know, I had to bring it up. Other than that, yeah, I'd rather Tom Cruise, but we can't use Tom Cruise. We use them, so that's why you know.
But Tom Cruise wasn't as. I mean, he was big, but not like those guys.
Other than that, thank you guys. This was a test run, our first episode of it. I want to do this live eventually. Hopefully, I can have my other judge or someone there up here because, you know, whatever.
Yeah.
I should have your
I
wife
miss you,
come.
Jack.
All righty then. Thank you guys very much. Like, subscribe, as always. And
We're out of here.
see you on the next one.
All right.